Hey everyone, it's Cory McCarthy and welcome to a new episode.
I think my last episode left some confusion regarding my stance on cardio, although I can't really see how. I felt the episode's point was pretty clear.
Nonetheless, I want to clarify my stance on some specific matters by addressing some viewer comments.
A number of comments were left, including 1. Cardio is more important for survival in hand-to-hand combat than muscle. 2. People who pump themselves up are unhealthy. 3. I don't have good cardio, and going as far as to imply that I don't do cardio, and that this fellow would rather be weak with good cardio than strong without it. And finally, 4. I rely too much on studies.
First, I do rely heavily on research. This channel is evidence-driven because anecdote is just simply not enough. Personal anecdote lacks the proper controls to ensure that the outcome or outcomes that one is receiving are due to a specific factor versus another factor or factors. Anecdote may be interesting, but it isn't conclusive. So if you want bro science, there are an inordinate number of other YouTube channels supplying just that. But as I like to say, I'd rather not take a shot in the dark. I like to learn why and how things work. I like to know. I don't like to assume, and I don't like to take things on face value. Now, with that out of the way, I never said cardio should be neglected or that it was unimportant, or that I don't perform it myself. I simply said that if you have multiple goals, say muscle building and cardiovascular health, you need to program your schedule so that neither activity conflicts with the other. That recent study that I shared in that video elaborated that cardio performed less than 6 hours apart from weight training
Hindered both the performance benefits from the cardio and the strength gains from the lifting session.
And that paper was linked in the references of my last video. And that video is linked in the references for this video. I only recommended that you program your training schedule accordingly, optimally performing your cardio on rest days from lifting. However, if scheduling is an issue, you could also perform your cardio in the morning, for instance, while performing your lifting in the evening, or vice versa. The second option would buy you 10 to 12 hours apart between sessions. As for cardio being more important for hand-to-hand combat and survival, I wouldn't say that. It certainly is one vital element.
And as I discussed in an episode from September of 2015, I am a martial artist, so I do have experience in hand-to-hand combat.
So of course I recognize that cardio is important for combat. It builds your endurance and your stamina. It also helps keep you in a lean, fight-ready condition. For me, fighting with any excess fat on my body offers the real struggle, not my level of muscularity. If anything, anecdotally, I find that as I build more muscle and get stronger,
the more powerful, accurate, and swift I become in my technique and fighting. And this has been validated by my fellow karateka who are on the receiving end of my strikes during sparring and pad work, so it's not in my head.
Now granted, I am a natural lifter, so there is a limit to how much muscle I can build anyway. After a point, excess muscle would likely compromise my training. However, at a leaner 190 to 195 pounds, this still isn't an issue for me.
And there are numerous studies demonstrating that strength training and symmetrical muscular development play beneficial roles in punching acceleration, strength, and power, as well as enhancing kicking mechanics and speed.
So maybe some would rather be weak with good cardio, but frankly, I'd rather be a solid mix of strong, fast, and precise. And training for increased lean mass is not unhealthy.
I've done at least 2 videos, which I will link in the references, that shared research demonstrating that greater muscularity led to lowered all-cause mortality risk and greater longevity.
Furthermore, strength training also improves your bone density and your hormone values, not just your lean mass. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with the acquisition of lean tissue, or should I say the natural acquisition of muscle. I do not advocate performance steroid use if positive long-term health is desired. Medically required TRT is a different story, of course. Anyhow, I thought this episode was important to make, if only to clarify my positions on certain matters and explain my methodology and reasoning so that you may all learn something. As for the goal that I aim for with my own physique,
I am inspired by the classic and epic warrior look of antiquity as portrayed in sculpture.
I shoot for a look that embodies the way that I envision ancient warriors of Rome, Greece, or Scandinavia to be. Strong, muscular, imposing, intimidating, dangerous looking, but also combat ready and able. Bear in mind, sometimes you can just subdue conflict before it even escalates into physical confrontation simply due to your overall presence. while also possessing the physicality to handle matters if things escalate. And of course, use your words too. I am not promoting the unnecessary use of force before anyone misinterprets this. Now, back to my influences. I'm also inspired by martial artists such as
Michael Jai White, Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Scott Atkins, and the late full-contact champion and karate practitioner Andy Hoog.
The latter who greatly influences my own karate. So I hope that puts things into perspective. What I view as the ideal male physique for both aesthetics and for performance. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do comment below. However, if you'd like me to reply personally,
please head over to the blog at strongerfastervegan.com, which I've linked below.
That's where I will be responding to comments for this video in the appropriate blog entry. Other than that, please like and share this video if you found it informative, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep on top of the regular updates. Otherwise, till we meet again.